Hello, my name is Skye. I'm a singer from the group Morcheeba, and this is my Q&A Rebel Boss series for Caviar Spoon. Okay, what makes you a rebel boss and why? Um, well, I'm good at writing songs. I'm good at singing. I'm good at making clothes. And I'm good at making babies. I have 4 children. I'm 47 in May 2019. I feel fitter now than I did 10 years ago. And yeah, I feel pretty good. I'm proud of me, and I like me, and I guess that's something. Yeah, it's good to sing about, so to speak. Pardon the pun. So yeah, I'm going to pat myself on the back and say, well done, you. What's been the biggest reward to date in your musical career? Um, I'd say having my son Jager in join in the live band of Morcheeba. So he is now 23, but he joined when he was just turning 19. He'd been playing drums for about 3 years, mucking around in the garage, and then he was in a band with his friends called Blue Pursuit. And in Morcheeba, we found ourselves in need of a new drummer, and Ross said, "What about Jager?" And I thought, "You're crazy." Firstly, like he hasn't been playing that long, and secondly, he's my son, and like, isn't that a little bit weird? And Ross said, let's give it a go. Let's give him a chance. He's really good. And, I was 18 when I started in Morcheeba, so let's give it a try. So we went into the garage. Well, Jager and Steve, bass player of Morcheeba, also my husband, went into the garage for about a month. They went through all of the Morcheeba songs. And then we had 2 warm-up shows. I think one was in maybe Birmingham and one was in Brighton. And then we did a show in South America in front of 10,000 people, Jager's first festival, and he totally nailed it. So yeah, I'm incredibly proud, and I'd say that was a big highlight of my career. Has fear stopped you from trying out an idea where you ended up missing an opportunity? Um, well, just recently, I was asked to do a photo shoot with a photographer in Prague, and he has this wonderful idea of the Beast and the Beauty, and he would like to photograph me with lions. And my fear is totally like, no, I don't think so. So yeah, we could, end up with some amazing shots of me, stood there stroking lions, but my fear of animals of most kinds. I mean, we have a cat. I think that's about as far as I go. I used to have a rabbit called Trousers because half of its body was white and the bottom half was grey, so it looked like it was wearing trousers. Side story, but yeah. So my fear of animals, especially wild animals that could eat you, um, um, is stopping me from doing a photo shoot with lions. Tell us about a time someone said to you you couldn't do something and you proved them wrong. Um, well, I'd say probably in 1996, when my son Jager was, probably about 9 months old. I was told by our female tour manager at the time that a tour bus was no place for a child, and that he shouldn't be here. And then again, when I had my second child in 1998, she was just 3 months old, and I was looking for someone to help look after her whilst we were on tour. And I I was told again that, you shouldn't be taking a baby of 3 months on tour. I obviously ignored them, and I've toured with all of my children, all of my 4 children. Taking them on the tour bus and on aeroplanes, and halfway around the world, and yeah, that they've turned out fine. I think it's a good place for where better place to be than with your mum. Um, you know, and their mum happens to be a singer that travelled around the world. So I think it's a good thing that they've experienced different countries, different food, different cultures. Maybe it was a little bit of a strange transition actually for Jago. I remember, most kids want to sleep so we got him a bunk bed, and at home, and most kids like to sleep on the top bunk, but he wanted to sleep on the bottom bunk because it felt like being on a tour bus, and and he wanted curtains because on the tour bus each bunk has curtains. And I remember, Gilly, who is now 10, almost 11, I remember coming home from the tour. He was maybe about three and a half, and he's like, "I want to go home." He was crying. He's like, "I want to go home. I want to go home." And I was like, "Gilly, you are home." And he's like, "I want to go to the hotel home." So, which I think it's quite cute. That he liked our hotel home. It was quite fancy, so I understand where he's coming from. I wanted to go back to the hotel home. But yeah, to summarise the question of when someone said you couldn't do something and you proved them wrong, well, they said I couldn't take my kids on tour, and I did, and it worked out fine. One key tip that has served you well in the music industry. Well, I'd say a good few years ago, I was at a party and chatting away as you do, and I was talking about going on stage and how I get absolutely petrified and I feel like I'm going to die. Everything just stops, and I just sort of go into a bit of a sort of shutdown. And this one guy said to me, don't worry, you're amazing at what you do, and it's not exactly brain surgery. I mean, if you make a mistake, no one's going to die. And I thought, yeah, actually, he's right. It's really not that deep. It's no big deal. I thought, yeah, I've forgotten lyrics. I've fallen over in my ridiculously high-heeled shoes. I've lost my voice. I've had wardrobe malfunctions and audio malfunctions, and the show still goes on. Nobody died. Maybe I died a little bit inside, but it's really, really not that deep. Obviously, you want to do a good show, and it's normal to feel nerves, but the panic and the fear, and the dread, and that feeling of that my heart's about to stop, that all kind of faded away. So that was definitely a key tip. So thank you, Caviar Spoon, for the Q&A. For Rebel Boss, I'm Skye from Morcheeba, coming at you from my from my wardrobe. It's the quietest room in the house. It's bath time, and so maybe you'll hear some running water and stuff. It's not a beautiful stream, it's the bath running. So yeah, thank you for listening, and hopefully see you soon.